What's the prevailing view of like war, foreign policy?
Oh gosh, we hate war. We really despise it. George Bush was probably the worst president in modern America by far. When you look at the amount of debt, like when we talked about the 38.2 trillion, I mean, think about how much of that was Iraq, Afghanistan, all of that.
Yes.
And we don't have anything to show for it, really. I mean, Iraq is now basically a satellite state of Iran. There was a deterrent to one of America's enemies, and now it's just a puppet state. And you have Afghanistan, which, understand attacking Al-Qaeda. They attacked us, sure.
Yes.
But the idea that you want to turn a Stone Age society to a progressive liberal democracy is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Ever, yeah.
And so we can't rationalize why that ever happened. And even people in your generation, they're like, what were we thinking? Why did we do that? Like, I've spoken to so many people who are conservative, and they're like, I don't understand why we ever did that. And the war is just not something we like. I don't think anyone likes it. And the real tragedy of war was not the debt, but it's actually just the innocent American lives that were lost.
Yes.
That's the real tragedy.
I agree.
And all the other stuff is secondary, but it still has lasting effects on us.
So when you hear people agitating for like another regime change war in whatever country, what do you think?
I'm angry and I'm frustrated as someone who's the son of, my dad's in the military.
Yes.
That makes me angry
Yes.
because I don't want him to go and fight in a war that will just be another waste of money and a failure. So there's a personal element to it, but also it's just stupid. How many times are we going to do this before we learn it doesn't work,
Yes.
right? So there's so many elements to it. Personal, financial makes no sense, and it's just logistically absolutely stupid.
It is stupid.
And it makes me angry that people are even advocating for something like that. And I don't think they're advocating it just to advocate for it. I think there's interest groups that are pushing them to advocate for that.
Clearly there are.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
learned a lot about that recently. So that's one of the topics that nobody ever, including me, I had zero desire to talk about it, the Israel question. And Fuentes is most famous for, there's no upside in that.
Yeah.
And I just...
The question no one wants to ask.
I never felt it was as central as it turned out to be. I guess I just didn't understand it very well. But Fuentes is famous for, saying naughty things, but also saying pretty straightforward critique of the control that Israel has over the United States. Is that view widely shared, do you think?
Well, I don't know too much. I mean,
let's take Fuentes out of it.
Yeah.
I keep reading that young people's views of Israel are increasingly skeptical, if not hostile. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't think it's anything we've done. I think it's all reliant on Israel. That's on them, actually, not on us. And the reality is they're just another country. I've never bought into they're super evil,
Right.
they're just another country. Who cares?
Right.
And if they want a better relationship with the United States, they need to stop interfering in our politics. It's really simple.
Yes.
And it's not just Israel. I mean, we need to ban foreign aid. We need to stop sending. We should not have a single dime going to another country when we have people in poverty, with bad schools, medical debt, all that stuff. It makes no sense. That's part of America first. We also should ban foreign lobbying. It's irresponsible. Why would we have the interests of another country put as policy for our country?
Yes.
Our leaders should be making decisions on the interests of American people, not someone in Burundi or something. Who cares?
Well, exactly.
Right? So those are two things that I think if we cut out the aid, cut out the lobbying, I think it'll stop a lot of influence, not just from Israel, but from every country.
Exactly.
Because it's not just Israel. It is a lot of other countries that do that. And it's just as much a problem.
And just as egregious a violation of the most basic principle of government, which is serve your people first.
Absolutely. Yep.
Do you feel people are less afraid to say that now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I just remember growing up when I was in that 2016 era of conservative politics, Israel was untouchable. You could not say anything about it.
No, I remember.
And in some ways, it's still kind of that way. But it's it's just weird. It's weird, the obsession, Whether I'm not one to like the obsession, whether it's good or bad. It's just weird that people are obsessed with it the way it is. And I just don't agree with either one.
I agree. I completely agree.
Waste of time.
It's
just
unhealthy
another country.
too.
Yeah, it really is.
Wake up thinking about Israel every day. It's not good in either direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's focus on America. How about that?
Amen. So what are your views on immigration, and what views do you think best describe the people you know?
So 2016, Trump brought a spotlight on illegal immigration, and that was really desperately needed because we had seen it, but no one really said the obvious. Now we need to do the same with legal immigration. We need to state the obvious. Mass migration is a problem.
Yes.
And it's funny, when I've started speaking out against that, the amount of legal immigrants in this country, the amount of children of immigrants in this country who have come up to me and say, thank you for speaking about that, is shocking in some ways, but it's also not shocking because
it's not shocking.
It's directly impacting them.
Of course.
How ironic is it that someone leaves their country in search of the American dream to give their kids a better life, only for their kids to grow up and have the job that they want being sent back to the country that they came from? Like, that's ridiculous.
No.
And it's
so perfect, though, in a way. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make that up. And I do see like a lot of, there are some, on the other hand, who are legal immigrants, who are children of immigrants, who are saying that's hypocritical of me.
Why?
No one should, well, because of my grandparents who immigrated here, which is back in 1969. And my response is always like, it's not 1969.
Whoa.
We have a very different country. We have a very different set of circumstances. Therefore, it's then rational
So your
to
grandparents
adapt and
did
adjust.
something 56 years ago.
Now I have to do the same thing and believe the same thing they did, which I know damn well they don't, because if they did, they wouldn't have the progressive views that they have, because no grandparents had that progressive views.
Yeah.
But they want to put it on me because they're mad that someone with my identity has the views that I have. And they want to...
Oh, because you're part Indian or something?
Yeah, they think that I owe them my loyalty because of some decision my grandparents made, which is stupid because all I've known is America. All I know is American culture. I love the South. I love Southern culture. I only speak English. I'm a Christian. Why would I care about anything else?
Exactly.
And so you have the legal immigrants and the children of immigrants who are upset at me and who called me racist, all sorts of things. And it's
Racist?
Yeah, racist for saying we don't need more people here. But it's ridiculous. But the reality is that when those people who are calling me racist lose their job, they need to remember that it was the people that they called racist that were actually trying to save their job from being taken by a foreigner.
Yes, exactly.
And so I eventually they may understand that, but it's shocking, really, how we're allowing this to happen.
How widespread is that view, do you think, among people you know?
I would say it's actually, I would say, kind of split. I don't think it's as noticeable as like the economic issues where everyone seems to see it because they feel it. But we have a big country, right? There are some parts of America where you don't see too much migration. They're
No.
like, what is everyone talking about? There's no migration. But that's just not the case. And really, I think it's irresponsible to have legal immigration at a time when companies aren't hiring, Americans specifically. We're in a fragile economy, and you have AI taking over a lot of jobs. So why would it make sense to import more foreign workers? It doesn't. And that's just one aspect of it, is the economic issue. The cultural and assimilation issue is a whole nother aspect. And I think so immigrations historically have basically been expected to assimilate. And then around the Obama years was when you started to see a shift of like, no, you don't need to change. You can be who you are. No, you need to assimilate. You have to. Because without it, we lose our identity as a country. Why would we have people in here who don't see themselves as one of us?
Right.
And that's how you end up with places like Minneapolis, with Little Somalia. These people isolate themselves and don't integrate. You have parts of Miami where people literally don't speak English at all, which is insane, because if I was to move to another country and I was thinking, where could I go to get a better opportunity? Oh, I know, somewhere where I don't speak the freaking language. Genius, right? But it's just unbelievable. And there's so many different aspects to immigration that it's not just the migration part of it, but a lot of other things that are just out of control.
Like what?
So naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. Growing up here is a big part of understanding the country. We need to stop and limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our universities. Some of them are spies, by the way, for foreign governments. But it's also just we should put our kids first.
Yes.
And we should also not allow dual citizenship because that's the stupidest idea. You're either American or you're not. And everyone wants to make it so complicated. That's the thing that I don't like about the past generation is they're always about the rules, the process, and regulation. No, it's really simple. You're just America first. People should have their loyalty to America first. And if they can't do that, then this ain't the country for you.
That's totally right. What about serving in a foreign military?
Oh, gosh, no, forget about it. You can't do that.
Of course not, right?
It's ridiculous. That idea alone is just insane.
Yeah.
Dual citizenship's already bad enough. But to serve in another country's military is disqualifying, really.
Of course. I mean, it's hard to believe it's even a conversation. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.